Hello, good evening and happy Sunday. So here we are again. Don't these times come around quite quickly? I can't believe, it's 5 minutes ago. Hey, I'm out of breath because I just ran back to get some water just in case I get a tickle. And I hope we'll have some people on here with me this evening. So, this evening I did hint on a Sale-A-Bration set that I haven't used yet on the last live. So I took the greeting from it. So this is Softly Sophisticated and it's in one of the Sale-A-Bration choices. So I'm going to get you down onto the table and there we go, we can see what's going on. So Sale-A-Bration is going on until the 29th of February. It is a leap year, so we get an extra day. So that's just my quirky little addition there. So we've got all the good things that were in here, and this is the one that I'm going to be using today. This is the Softly Sophisticated bundle. Hi Maxine. Excuse me, a bit froggy today. So it's a lovely stamp set. It's nice and delicate. Now we have had something very similar to this as a Christmas set, the Christmas flowers. I think it was called Vintage Christmas. It is gorgeous. I love the flowers. So this is going to be lovely for me to play with. And we get an embossing folder with this one as well. It's a £90 spend. So it's the second bracket. So before this, everything is the £45 spends. So you'll see in the little circles here as to what they are. But yeah, you get the embossing folder as well. And it's beautiful embossing folder. It comes up really detailed. And we're going to use that tonight. And we're going to use the stamps. So, but I want to just remind you the fact that there are Sale-A-Bration level 2 items now. Hi, Anne. The level 2 Sale-A-Bration items. There are, I have posted this one on the Facebook page. We've got the Beside Me cling stamp from one of the catalogues. That's £25 value and you can get it for free. Botanical Layers is 22. The pack of whopping great pack of 48 sheets of paper. If you like your designer series paper, this is tremendous value and that's a £45 spend. Would cost you 28, but you've actually got the equivalent of 4 whole packs of paper and they're £12, £11.75. So it's kind of like £48 worth really on normal prices. That one, just kidding, is £11.75. You can get that for free and so on. There's a couple of kits there I didn't look the prices up on. The embossing folders were £10.25 and these I've been featuring a lot. These note cards, they are now a free item. You remember the set that I did and I said you can make 7 cards out of 1 card and 1 envelope? They're now free. Okay, they were worth £9.50. The markers and the punch are the second level, so level 2, so £90 spend. Thought I'd just point those out in case you hadn't seen the live, the post go up. So that's all of that. You know what? I haven't got diddly scoobies where my trimmer is today. I grabbed everything except for the trimmer. I can see it over the other side. Let me just grab that because I will need it. There we go. So good going through everything I thought I'd need. There's always something, isn't there? Hi Jean, hi Linda. So this is the set we're going to use today. I have got them already mounted on the blocks apart from the other 2 sentiments. So I've got all of these on here and this is the embossing folder case. I'm keeping it in there because that is a bundle together. After that finishes, then I will split them out because they'll be retired. Okay. I am going to kind of like tweak with what's in the catalogue image, but I haven't got the exact product, so I'm going to use something different that I've had lined up. So I've had this sheet of paper on my table. This is the Adorned Hearts papers, and this is one of the sheets in there. Now, this is, I might be too close actually. Let me just bring that back a bit, just a sec. Take that off, this one. Are you too close to me yet? I think you might be. Let me see what you can see of the mat. There you go. I'll leave it there for now. Anyway, this one here is one of the reds in here, but they don't list this one as being poppy. This is real red. Okay, so I brought out the real red because I thought I was going to use real red, but I want to show you the difference of our reds, our shades. So this is real red and this goes with this colour here and some of the other papers. This one here I think is nearer to Poppy Parade. See, where would you put that paper? Would you go to the darker side, or would you come to this side? Okay, you tell me whether you'd go right or left of that paper. So I'll cover those ones up. But it should be this one. But I'm kind of thinking it's nearer here. So I might be playing a little bit of a little change in here, just because we can. So while I'll just leave you to, how am I going to do this? Leave you to have a look at that. I'm going to cut a piece of design of card here, white card, as a layer piece. Now I go to 10.5 centimeters. I want it just to have a tiny border, so I'm going to go 10.2, 3 mils under. So that would be 1/8 of an inch in the States. You think Poppy Parade as well? Well done, June. And this way, a little bit corner bash there. So instead of 11.8, I'm going to come down to 11.5. Okay, so that's going to be my layer on that one. We're going to do 2 options here. We're going to do one with the DSP and one with a layered option. So I am going to cut that twice because I think I might go with a DSP layer in between it. Hi, Pam. The lighter red is very pretty. Yes, it is. I think it's just one of those. They don't list Poppy, but you know what? I think that's better. So let's get rid of the rest of it, shall we? Put that over there. I'll cut my base card on here. So I'm going to score it down the middle. Okay. There we go. Hi, Karen. And then half this way. So again, in the States, you know, you just use your half of your imperial. Here we are, where my dots are, we are 14.85. So it's 1.5 little bits under the 15 and 10.5. So that's our 2 half measurements. Just a good little tip, if you've got a Sharpie pen, a coloured Sharpie, just to put your little dots on here. You probably can't see it, but I haven't said it lately. So can you see I've got a little red dot there and a little red dot there? Anyone who comes to my studio and has our trimmer, or even other trimmers, I just suggest that that's a good thing, and they just dive in and I mark it for them. Okay, so I'm just going to crease along that line there, and then crease this one here as well. We've both been feeling so much better. We actually did pop out today, which was nice, and I'm just a bit groggy, I'm just a bit froggy in my chest today. So we have been outside and moved the last of the logs into the coal shed, so the wood shed. So that's given us a nice lot of fresh air as well. Just finished washing up. Mine's all by the sink waiting to do. Hi Sam, nice to see you. So these are going to be my 2 basic card bases. I'm going to cut a layer of this for one of them, and I want to put that just coming in a little bit. Yeah, just a little tiny, the amount of border I've left on here is you're not going to see a lot of the red anyway, but I'll come down that 3 mils again for one of them. Okay, so we're going to come down on here. So I've come down to 3 mils there, and I'm going to come down again. So I'm going to come, I'll actually end up being 9.9. Okay, on there. Beautiful paper, and on the back of that we have the petal park, I think, petal. Yes, petal. Is actually this colour card that goes with it. So that one can go back over there, and then this one I came down from that. I'm going to come down another 2, so that's going to be 10.2 this way. Okay, we only need one with the paper because we're going to emboss the other one. Okay, so this one will come onto here like so, and that will be my little layer. So I'm just going to have a little narrow border down the sides there. And then this one we're going to stick through the embossing folder. But I do want to, I'm going to take those off the table at the moment. I'm going to use the mat here, and I'm going to grab a blending brush, which are just behind the camera screen. So sorry about that. Let's see what's on there. That was a cherry cobbler red. That's another red. That's a real red. Look, I put little labels on my brushes, so that helps. So I know I'm going to be leaning on my glass, but I've got my water spritz here, and I'm just going to spritz it afterwards, and I will wipe that clean. So this is a beauty of having a glass mat, and I'm going to just zoom you back in again so you get a picture. Now I've got the big stuff off the table. Petal pink, there you go. I knew there's petal in there. I've been having a bit of brain fog lately, Karen. So let's go for, we're going to be using the Poppy Parade ink, so I'm going for the Poppy Parade ink here. So, have I got a piece of scrap? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just use the back of this. I just want to take some of that ink off there because I'm using the Poppy instead of the real red. I do not have a blending brush for every single colour. I tend to have one for the blues, one for the turquoises, one for the greens, etc. So yeah, I do mix and match them. I do tap this on here just to get off that excess ink. Because we're on a glass mat, I don't really need that now. We can tap the ink off over here and then pick it up again. I'm just going to come along here and just give it some colour. Okay, so I just want to give it just a little touch there. Probably came in a little bit too hard on that edge bit. Okay, we're just going to massage this round the edges predominantly, but it's just not going to be all over. It's just going to give a little bit of, just to take that whiteness off. And you can pick up that ink on the glass. Whereas when you tap it off on the paper in the past, tap it off on the paper, you lose it. It just absorbs the ink and that's it. Whereas when you do it on here, we're going to pick up that glass and there's a lot less to, got a little bit heavy on that corner there. Can't blend that out so much now. And there we go. So that's just got, I'm ashamed that's a little bit too heavy there, but I can't do much about it now. I'll probably put a bow on there or something later. So now we've done with all of the messy stuff, we can just, there's a kitchen roll here, spritz my mat, spritz here, and we'll just wipe that all over. See, the main part, you can't really see where I've got it, but there's gone a little bit up there, and look how clean that is. So nice. Love my mat. So we'll come back to these two now. So we've got two pieces here, and I'm going to emboss this one. So this beautiful embossed folder, softly sophisticated one, and it's in a Sale-A-Bration item. So totally free, and it comes as a bundle as a £90 spend. Okay, so I'm going to pop that through there, pick up the machine. Oops, so lazy. Get that here. I need the embossed one there. Don't need the cutting. And this is going to come through. We always put the hinged end in first, and then the dark one coming over the top. Okay. So lazy. What, having a brain fog, Karen? Is that some brain fog moments? What was the you two? There we go. So it lessens the amount of oh, you're stuck on there, aren't you? Just get me tweezers underneath. There we go. It lessens the prominence of that piece once it's been textured, but I want you to see this up close and personal. Look at the deep etching on there. It's all lots of little dots, but it looks so gorgeous. Now the other thing that I haven't tried yet that I could have tried, maybe not today, is using this embossing folder with vellum. Okay, I might do something with this on Wednesday. Vellum put through the embossing folder looks absolutely gorgeous, and it would be these little pierced dots. Now, if you know anything about parchment craft, I have taught parchment craft classes in the past, but Stampin' Up! Doesn't do that much. It does overlap, but it doesn't do an awful lot. So I don't tend to do so much, but I've got all the tools that do these little dots and things in a big case, and I will never get rid of those, just purely because they're just such a big expense, and it's not something that I won't not pick up again. You know, it will come back around, and it doesn't take up a lot of room because they're just tools, a little bit like our take your pick tool, like an embossing tool, but all in different ends on them. So it's like a glorified pencil case with lots of little slots in. So that is one little case that I'm going to keep hold of. So this one here, I'm going to be putting this on here like so, and just having that little tiny border around the edge. We could pull those in a little bit more if we wanted, but I quite like it with just the tiny piece. And what I was going to say, because I'm going to do this, what I want to do is I'm going to have the, where have I put them? I'm going to use the countryside corners because I love these dies. It is just the tailored dies like this, just the layered. I want to just find one on here that is going to fit our card quite nicely without being too big. And I've got the stamps here. So this is the stamp with the greenery on. So that would go on this smaller size. And then you see more of the paper. I think I'm going to stick with that one. Okay, so what I am going to do is quickly cut this. I'm going to gut the middle of this card because all we're going to do is cover that over with the paper. So I will gut this and take that middle piece out. So back with the machine. You know me, and you know that I love gutting layers too. It's just a waste really if you don't cut something out of the middle. And because I've got the dies ready to do this today, that's where I'm going to go. Now I do like to put this slightly at an angle. When your two rollers in here, they're about here. And when you're, oh look, I need to zoom you out. Sorry, you can't see me. So when your roller goes through here, you've got two rollers in the machine about here. Okay, and they're like a mangle and they go upside down like that. Like Granny's mangle, if you're as old as me. And so when this comes through, it picks up the rollers here. If you have that square on, it makes a big lump over that first straight edge because it's hitting it all at the same time. And then it'll work its way down and it'll lump off the other end. If you stagger it like this, it comes on gently on a corner and gradually comes along and then gradually goes off. So if you, without losing your corners and squashing them up, if you just do it slightly on the she says, where's the other clear plate? Just a sec. I say I'm feeling better in myself, but I'm going to say my foot is playing up again. Any one of you who know, I've got my left foot. It's been good for a little while, and it's just come back with a vengeance today. So this mat is a bit curly, so let's just see what's going to happen here. So as soon as I got up onto my foot, it just told me, hey, I don't like that. So let's just slide that one off, pop that back on the floor, and then we're ready to go. We'll pop that one back in the magnet so we don't lose it. Got some little marks on here, but that's not a problem because we're not going to see much of it. So I'm going to layer these up now. So this one's going to go on here and then the paper on the top. It would be absolutely gorgeous with vellum. In fact, what we could do, I might just grab the vellum and just do it anyway. Now I've mentioned it, instead of doing the embossed layer. I can give you a choice then as to which you like. I have somebody in mind that this is going in the post to, that I've chosen the sentiment accordingly, and that will be in the post tomorrow. So this is going straight out the door. I'm just going to pop the adhesive around here. I do love my Tombow because it just gives you that bit of wiggle room. Scribble that through the middle just because I've got a little dent in there, and make sure I get them up right the right way. Okay. There is kind of like the poppies, there are some poppies this way, but there is kind of like a definitive top and bottom on here. Just get that same little even border all the way around the edges. Okay, and just that little bit of wiggle room. You can slide it a little bit. I love the poppies, just love these papers. They are so gorgeous. Okay, so that one's there, and then this is going to go on the top, but we're going to do our stamping in a second. And choosing this size, we can still see a lot of the paper around the edge because we've kept the borders to a minimum. Okay, you know, I've got to remember that you're in this corner now, haven't I? So I'll keep those in the centre. I'm going to grab some vellum because I want you to just see what this one looks like. I had it around this side of the table. time when my room is at its tidiest is when I've got a class or just had a class, because everything's put away and it's only out what I'm using. Today is not one of those days. So I'm going to just do this one for you, because I'd like you just to see how detailed this is going to look, and the vellum will highlight this lovely. I don't just want it that little bit. I'm going to come to the 0.5 centimetre lower, I think. So this way it'll be 10 centimetres, 0.5 centimetre less. And then we'll run that through. Bring that back. Bring this back. Those tips are daisy. Please don't slide. Put that back into the folder. And the fact that I put the ink on that card just now, it doesn't make any difference, because it's absorbed into the cardstock. It's not wetting. It's not going to get onto the embossing folder. So when you do those techniques, that's fine. You can also, you haven't used the vellum yet. Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah. I haven't been using the baked bean can, no, but I have got a small bottle which is perfect size in the freezer, full of water, and that's really good. It does really help, but I've been doing more of the stretching exercises, and they do help. Now I want you to see this just to get the effect. I'm going to show you on the back of this card here. Can you see how detailed they are? And if I tilt it, look at those dots. So it's because of the type of folder it is. It's like someone has done the parchment and has gone here and actually pricked all of those little holes through. It's hard to show you on the camera, but that is absolutely stunning. And you know what? I think, shall I keep that over the top of that one? Or shall I quickly cut another base? I think I'm going to use another base, you know, because I can. There isn't one cut on there, so I'm just going to cut another one quickly. It's nice when you see my projects evolve, because they're not, yeah, you get everything warts and all, and especially when I've forgotten things to bring to the table. There was a record, wasn't there? I'm only human after all. So, pop that there. Fold this one in half again. And also, don't you find that with your crafting? When you're playing and you think, actually, I'm going to try that. Oh, I prefer this. So what you started off doing actually changes completely. So will go on there. Now, I've got something to tell you. I'm not going to stick this down yet, because when you put any adhesive behind vellum, it will show. If you put a wet glue behind there, if I put my Tombow behind here, the vellum is not porous. Cardstock will absorb the porous, the wetness of the glue. The vellum will just push it. It will just slide. It's just resisting it. It's a bit like a shiny foil or something like that. So it does resist it. So it will just run and make a bigger mess. If you put a tiniest dot, it'll be bigger. Okay. If you put tape on here, you'll still see the tape through the back. Okay. So there are ways to disguise it. Okay. And with this here, we're going to do this shape. We're going to have to cut another one, and we're going to have this, and I will show you how I'm going to attach that in a sec. So I do need another one of these. Because we haven't got the flowers to cover up, I might just do the next size up. So we've got 1 and 1. And let's just do this one, just because we can. And guess what? I'm going back to the cutting now. Trying to prevent a landslide on the floor like the other day. So that's there. Crisscross, just slightly at an angle. And on my bendy plate. Now, Sale-A-Bration is the perfect time to top up on your stocks, your supplies. So if you've got consumables, things like the embossing plate, the cutting plates, you can see that this one's quite curly. Okay, it's got quite a dome in it. I will be stocking up on more of these before the end of the month, and together with Tombos and mini glue dots, things like that. So it is a time, it's not all about having to buy the latest products and have to buy new stamps. We know we all have lots of stamps. It's about just being careful with your purchases and then choosing something for free that you can use, and that can make your supplies go further. Okay, so I'm now coming on to my stamping. This is a little bit curly, so we're just going to pop a block on there. Actually, let's just pop the sentiment on there just to hold it still. So I'm going to use the greenery on here. If I just grab that catalogue back, you will see on here that the greenery is basically, normally they're very good. They put the images as they should be stamped. So this little bud's over here, and this one's where the bud's going to go. It's kind of in the same direction. They've not twisted it round. They're not confusing you. So we know that that one, I want to kind of have this coming over to the left. So I'm going to stamp this one. I've got some green here. I've gone with the old olive because I feel I've neglected it a bit. I've not used that one lately. So this is the first time this stamp has been used. The whole set actually, so apart from the one of the other sentiments. So I am just going to stamp this off on a piece of paper first, because it kind of like primes your stamp set. Okay, so just ink that a couple of times. I'll keep that to one side because we'll use that again. So I'm going to have this coming down here. Where would I like the sentiment? I think I'm choosing a larger sentiment, so I'm going to have that quite near the bottom, I think. And I want that coming over to the side. Okay, we'll have a bit more room around it on the next one. So that's on one. And then on this one, we're going to have a little bit more room. Okay, but it's still coming at a similar angle. Like so. Holding my breath on these because I've not actually stamped these out yet. So there we go, that's those two. So I'm doing the same one on both. We have got another longer sentiment here. But I'm going to come on here with this lovely one here. So this is going to have our Poppy Parade. Yes, I'm going to stamp one and I'm going to 3D one. So I'm going to stamp this one. I want to show you how they line up. So this little branch here on the left where my finger is, that's a little bud. So that is best to line that little bud as coming on the side. So if I'm just trying to not get in your way, I need my glasses. Oops. So I want to have this little bud lined up in there. Okay, and then this flower is going to come on the base here. So that's kind of the angle I'm looking at. I apologise if I get my head in the way. So I'm just going to pivot this round so that they all go in the right place. Okay, excuse my head. There we go. Seeing the top of my hair. Yeah, thanks, Linda. There we go. Lovely little flowers in there. Now this one I'm going to stamp on a separate piece of white card. I am going to fussy cut them. I want some 3D. Because it's a bigger image, I want to make a bigger thing of it. So I'm just going to stamp those there. See, if you wanted to, you could actually stamp them and then have them 3D'd on top. So let's do that. Glasses down. So bud in the little bud hole, and these ones are going to come in the middle. Okay, so it's just pivoting that round to get your details in. And there we go. So that you can have on there, then you know where you're going to put your fussy cut ones on top. So do that one up, do that one up. I brought all my scraps over for both the reds and I'm not using them. So we're going to pop this onto the card now, I think. Put that one on there. The sentiment I've chosen for these, I'll do two different sentiments. I've got you're in my thoughts. Okay, I don't like greetings put at the top. I really don't. So I think that's going to come on this one. Today's this one here. It's a bigger sentiment, it's a bigger card, and it's a bigger sentiment, and it will take that at the top there. Okay, now we've got the height of this in. So I think I'm just going to use that in black just to give it a little bit of contrast. Okay, because it's the first inking, I'm just going to bring that piece of paper back on and just stamp that off there a couple of times. It's kind of like it's just priming that stamp up. Okay, and then we're going to stamp that here. It fits on the wider label much better. Okay, this one will have a little different little greeting on there. Put that away. It's going to come on here. Let's do this one first, and then we can play with that one in a sec. So this one, you can see how curly this is. We are going to place this on Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, so I'm going to put a good coverage of the dimensionals on here, and then I will raise it up, and then I will attach the vellum to the back, and you'll see why I'm doing it that way. That's not the box I wanted. I wanted this box. Excuse my arms. Stampin' Dimensionals, that's better. So on the back of this one, I'm going to put a good covering, so I want literally each of these areas here. I'll take them off as I go as well. Stuck to me, look. One there, one in the corners. And then I'm going to do a couple down the middle as well. So bring them in just slightly from the edges, like so. So we've got a good covering, no dents in the middle. It's not going to sag. Okay, pop them out of the way. So now the tricky bit is to hold this down and while it's not curling. Okay, we're going to place this in the centre. Okay, like so. There we go. Immediately that has helped flatten it out. Now on the back here now, this is the area that we can put our adhesive on, and we have disguised the adhesive. These edge pieces are curling naturally away from us. So I'm going to grab some of my my tape runner. I don't think that's got any in it. No, that one's empty. Just see if I've got that over there. This is my Stampin' Seal Plus. You could put tape on here if you'd prefer, but I'm literally just going to press this down, and I'm just running on and lifting it off. Okay, and I'm going to put a good coverage on that. Excuse me. The wet glue, like I say, will run on the vellum. Okay, this isn't going to be seen, we've got 3 good strips of the tape runner on there. You could equally as well use the tape, the tear and tape. Okay, so now we're going to place this into the corners. Okay, and that will hold that middle section. Okay, where we've put the tape down it, that will hold, and it's holding that on, and it's not really picking up at the edges, but you can now see how beautiful that looks just by laying it through the vellum, through the embossing folder. Any embossing folder, just experiment, and you will get to like one side better than the other. Some of them definitely, this will definitely have this as the top side. The other side is quite plain, but you will find a difference in those. And then of course on this one, you had it on the white card with some sponging around it, some blending. Okay, so that's what it looks like on the white. Okay, but do play with your embossing folders, have a good play and see how you like them. So this one here, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to place this in the centre. I did wonder whether to take some of the whiteness off. Maybe I should have done that on there. You could take some of the whiteness off and sponge around the edges, or sponge dauber. Okay, but we want to see the poppy on this one. So I'm going to do the same and put some Stampin' Dimensionals on here. Same way. Probably only need 1 in the middle on this one because it's smaller. There we go, and 1 more. There we go, that's that one done. Looks lovely. Oh, thank you. Hi Claire, nice you could join us. So this one's going to go on the top there. about at the centre, isn't it? Looks centre to you. Okay, but I want to fussy cut these ones. Get rid of that little scrap piece. Okay, down with these. Okay, this one's going to be the problem one, that little one there. Okay, and then these two just come through the centre. I take away the excess of the card as I go, and I'm just bringing that out to the camera. I'm leaving a little tiny border around it, and you can see I'm swinging the card to fussy cut. This is a practice, something you all need to practice, I think. I don't know I make it look easy, but I'm making the scissors do the work and just pivoting with my finger on this one. Like, you can see how I'm moving it around where I want it to be. Okay, and that change of the angle. I hope you can see that okay. And then just moving it out. So my right hand is hardly moving at all. Just to move it down the blade. Okay, and fussy cut around that piece. And around there, back to the start, and I'm done. Okay, so there's one. That's in the bin. And the bigger one. Just come in on these little pieces here. Move the card on the left to where you want it to be. So when I go away in the summer, I will definitely be taking fussy cutting to do, because it's a good one to do. It really is, when it doesn't take up a lot of space. Take little Ziploc bags, and loads of pre-prepped images. Okay. I am still going to try and join you while I'm away. I have got Wi-Fi. So, yes, we will see how that one goes. How good the connection is. And I've got to remember the time difference. I think we're 2 hours different. There we go, and there's that one. Now this one you'll probably lose in on the camera. It looks to me like a horse's hoof, this one. A donkey or a horse's hoof. Bless. So yeah, this one's just hard getting into that middle bit. So I'm going to take the worst of that away. It's teeny weeny. Okay. You know me. Where there's a will, there's a way. Oh, there we go, dropped it. Just want to take that point off the top there. There you go. If you've got tweezers, okay, and we've got little pieces of dimensionals, this is when we use the little pieces in between. So on this one, I have got some little bits on here, I think. Oh, not very big. That's still too big, I think. I'm going to chop that in half. I've moved that over, and I will chop that and have one of those in there. Press him down, take him off, and he is going to go on the little flower in there. He's coming the other way up, isn't he? And that way up. So he's going to sit in there. Lovely. And these two aren't so bad now. Done the hard bit, haven't I? So one of the minis in the middle of that one, and it's that way up, so he could go on there, and then just a big one in the middle of this. One big one, and he's done. There you go. So this one's going to come through there like so. Okay, so I wanted to show you one flat and one raised, and I think that kind of like just highlights. It's entirely up to you as to what you'd like to do. I probably will come off air and do the 3D on the other one, but sometimes if you're putting them in the post, it does make a difference. So this one I'm going to use the other sentiment in there, which was very. So this one in here, I like the hello there because that covers a multitude of everything. We used this one the other night on a card, didn't we? So I'm going to put that diagonally on there. And I'm going to do that on a little piece of scrap, and I'm going to double mat it, and we're going to make a little flag on there somehow. So let's just get the poppy back. No, I think I used the black. Black and red, and go really, really nicely. So it does make it really nice. I think I fussy cut this one the other night. So I'm going to stamp one of those, and I'm going to do a little banner, I think, across the end there. There we go. I can go there. We're good to go. It is a lovely suite, and the whole bundle is free. So you've got the set of stamps, not that one, this one. The set of stamps and the embossing folder, both free together for a £90 spend. You can't split them. It is a bundle. It comes as a bundle. So I'll just leave that on the corner of the camera there so you can see that. It is beautiful. And it's even better when it's free. Like I said, if you have just stock items that you need to stock up on, like I said, I'm going to be getting some more the cutting plates before the end of Sale-A-Bration, because I know I get through them. I use a lot, and so it makes sense for me to save money and get something for free. Okay, I love the papers. There are a lot of papers in there this time. But because the additional items, you know, I showed you at the beginning, the release 2, there are some of the items in the other catalogues, the annual catalogues or the mini, that you can use, including those note cards and envelopes, which I absolutely love. So I think on this one, I'm going to do it slightly different and do 2 slanted pieces. So I want to do this at an angle. Okay, so I'm going to do it like so. And then what I'm going to do is, if I piece this piece back on here where it came from, that way. Now if I turn this over, okay, and I want to have that angle, but I want to have it this end, I can actually mark that the same distance, slide it along, and that's the angle that I want. Okay, so I could just slew that round. Okay, if I move it over a little bit further than what I want, so I'm matching up the top there and the bottom there. Put my glasses down, I can see what the heck I'm doing. So we're going to mirror that image by having this at an angle. But if I'm just going to mark that there and there, and then I'll cut just inside of that. Okay, just inside the pencils. Okay, and we should find that those actually kind of like are the same angle together. Okay, that's just a little quick top tip. And if I take one of my little pieces of poppy, that piece will probably be good. No, it's too short. Let's see. This one's bigger. So if I like to cut this now, roughly cut it down, so we haven't got too big a piece to work on. I want to get the width right first. So it's just a case of sticking that down there and working out what width I want to have this. So I'm just going to cut. I'm not going to stick it down first. I'm just going to run this parallel so that I know that the lines on my trim are this side, and then see if I'm happy with that. Yes, I'm good with that. Okay. So now this can be stuck down. So we've got the parallel lines even. Okay, I have done it quite broad actually. Could have tightened that up a little bit. Okay, and then I'll place that on here. This time you're aiming at your long sides to keep those even. Okay, like so. And then you could simply just get your large scissors. Oh, lots of typing. Bundle me likes especially free. I know it won't take you long to spend 90, Linda. Oh, bless. Yeah, love the banner. So it just gets you the even ends. Now I use a long pair of scissors and I do eyeball it along there, one long cut. If you use your snips, you'll probably end up going snip, 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 and you won't get them in a nice smooth line. One will go in, you might come in a little bit. So one long cut. These Stampin' Up! Used to do large scissors, they don't do them anymore. They just do the paper snips. But these are some cheap ones when Safeway was a supermarket a long while ago, when Mum passed away, and I was tidying up. But they're really sharp and they're brand new, and they've kept me going. She passed away 10, 12 years ago, 13 years ago. And yeah, it's They're still nice and sharp as ever. So look at that, just for a banner coming over the top there. I'm going to leave a little bit of white at the top there, but I'm going to pop that across. Just a little bit different. I mean, you could put it where you like, but because I could have moved this up another time, I'd move it up. But I quite like that on there. I don't want a piece of white stick in there. I like it kind of like that. So I think I'm going to put a little tiny dimensional in the corners, so that right in the absolute corners. I'll take one of these and put them right into the corner, and one on this one right into the corner, and then the centre will all be tomboed. Just pick that one up. Pick it up like so. So you know me, I love my tweezers. I pick it up as I'm going to stick it down. So my fingers are out of the way and I can play around with this until I get it where I like. If you've got your tweezers upside down or down here, up there, it just makes it awkward for yourself. So just try and think, get hold of it, how you're going to pick it up. Okay, and then you can pop that on there like so. I think this one just needs a couple of gems. Let's take them around the corner. Oh, feeling these ones were poppy. Didn't tell me the colours on here, and I won't get the catalogue out, but I think some in here. Ooh, I could have a couple of these little tiny flowers, couldn't I? Here, one each end on this one. So if I just lift that off and put one in there, and then I'll lift that one off and put one in there. It just kind of goes with the theme of the card, doesn't it? Try to turn that one around. There we go. There we go. So just got a little gem each side. So there's the first one, just with our banner at the top. And I think I'm liking the fact that they are 3D, makes all the difference. So we'll swap those over. Okay, and this one, it just needs some extra little bits on there, and I'm not sure what it wants. I'd like to put some splatters on there. And how's time doing? I'm going to stamp another couple of those little flowers. Just grab a piece of white. It needs that 3D, it just needs a little bit extra. Okay, we'll stamp another set of those. Go. Doesn't take long, does it? Chop those off. Glasses down. Okay, can whiz around here. A little bit of white around the outside of the edges. There we go. Concentrating, you see. Fussy cutting and watercolour are the two things that keeps a class quiet. Everyone's concentrating when they're watercolouring and fussy cutting. Okay, whiz, 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 whiz. There's no hard and fast rules. Like I say, I know I make it look easy. Everyone tells me I do, but just practice. Just get some images and practice leaving that little white layer if you want. I think it's easier. It balances it up a little bit nicer. Depends on what your project's going to look like. There you go, and that's that one. And then this tiny little piece, the little horse's hoof. In there, out there, and round. Just holding that from the other side. I also have big hands, you see, so that doesn't help me. Hey, so little mini dimensionals, and I'm going to take a piece off one of these. For that little piece there. That's too small. That's, oh, not that bit. Okay, the dimensionals, it's lovely having the smaller ones, but even for this, a smaller one is too small. So I've just shrunk it a little bit more. Cut it into about 1/4. There we go, and that's going to go on there. And then we want one of these in there. On that. And a big one. I'll put big ones. Big one on there. There we go. And that instantly has made that look a little bit, it's just giving it more shape, hasn't it? So I'm liking that on there. Now this one here, I think we could do a bow. I have the poppy ribbon. This is poppy, this one. Oh, sweet sorbet, but hey, you would not know the difference on here, so I'm going to use it anyway. So I'm just going to quickly tie a bow, a loop and a loop through the centre. And then get that piece through there, come on. Out you go. There we go. And you're just going to shape it as you go. Pull your sides, pull your loops down, tighten it, and just keep shaping till you're happy where it is. And then I'm going to use the large scissors again, up on there and up on there. Like so. There we go. And I think if I do this on the end here, just going to fill some of that white void. Let's pop that out of the way and decide where we'd like it. So we could put that in the centre at the bottom, or we could put it at the top. No, I think centre at the bottom is going to be better. Okay, a little mini glue dot on the back of that. So they're on the inside of the roll here. I like to do the heavier ribbons. I like to go one to the left of the middle and one to the right of the middle. It gives it a double whammy instead of just having one balance in the middle. Okay, and then that's just going to sit off the edge there.